Good morning, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader. Happy Friday. It's Friday, June the 27th. And the big question here in front of us is, what is the Nasdaq going to do today? Are we going to break the all-time high, which we are flirting with this morning? I am not going to be trading today. I had an opportunity to go fishing this morning, and I decided to take the day off and go fishing. I did open the charts here this morning just out of curiosity, and I have to admit, I have a little bit of FOMO. I'm a little bit sad that I agreed to go fishing now because this is a very interesting market, and I love when we break these all-time highs. Now, I'm not saying that's a guarantee today, but we are right there. I mean, we are about 100 points away from the all-time highs on the Nasdaq, and there's always an interesting opportunity when that occurs. There's also some, how do you trade it on the break and retest going above? So I want to cover what I would do today and typically the game plan behind that. But again, we are on a rocket ship. This market is just pushing and pushing and pushing. We are finally out of this big channel that we've been in, and this is where I like to trade. I haven't done as well as I would have liked the last couple of days, but we keep refining our craft and getting better at it. So the key thing today on the Nasdaq, I have a short here be it below yesterday's low. That is almost always a trade to watch for. If you break the previous day's lows and look for a break and retest short, it seems a little bit foolish to short up here, but again, if you're going to have a move back down, that you have to take advantage of that. There would also be a potential of a short inside of yesterday's high of day. If you get a clean break below that, you could see some downside. And how do you trade it if we do break the high of day? What happens if we get up into area where we have uncharted territory on the Nasdaq? The way I would trade that, and what I've done in the past, not that I'm such a skilled trader, but this is how I look at that. You look at the other markets and you look at the other indices. If you look at I like this system of trading the Nasdaq, the ES, the Dow Jones, and the Russell. You kind of get the whole ball of wax on the different markets. It's all a different splattering of companies in the stock market. Obviously, the S&P 500 being the biggest one. NQ focused around tech. You have the Dow Jones, which is obviously the big deal, and then you have the small caps in the Russell. And so you get to see kind of the whole picture. I do like that. And what I would do is pay attention to what the other indices are doing. If we're starting to get rejections at other levels on the indices, then if you're trading the Nasdaq, look for pullbacks. Whoops, I'm on the wrong chart. So that's how you trade it, and you have to proceed with some level of caution. When you start to break those highs and get into new areas. But the biggest thing, the simplest thing to do is pay attention to what the other markets are doing. What's the ES doing? ES and NQ run as similarly as about any other two markets do. The Dow Jones and the Russell don't always run exactly with the ES and the NQ, but you can also get information from those two markets as well. If all markets are continuing to push strong, then you can get in on a long trade, on a pullback or something on the Nasdaq, if that's something that you trade. If you're just a Nasdaq trader, that's how I would approach that. I would literally pay attention to what the other markets are doing and play according to that if I'm trading only the Nas as you break these high of days. And then the thing is, if we break that today, we get new data for next week. And then Monday we come back in here, we have some new levels, and then we build other theses off of that as well. So that's the thought behind that. ES, we are not at the all-time highs. We're not that far away. I believe right here I should mark that as all-time highs. But we're not that far away. I mean, we could break it today. We could. I doubt it. I don't think we're quite there yet. But obviously, looking, the thesis, the big game plan is the high of day, low of day. If we get a pullback to the high of day from yesterday, longs. Now, I also added a little level right here. You see this hold coming in the overnight, very clean hold, and that is very similar to that little push we had after the New York session closed at 4, before the market closed at 5. We had a little push up, and that has held right above that. So that would be a good point to look for a pullback long on the on the ES today. And again, you have to be open to this opportunity for a break and retest short if we get a rejection play. That could happen. And honestly, what if this rejects today and we start pushing down and we don't break the all-time highs? Is it like, oh no, the sky is falling, the bears are in control, and no, this market's doomed? No, it's actually, we've had such a strong move up. That would actually be a fairly bullish move, as a pullback, shaking out some of the longs and then refueling for another push higher, and actually to push us really up, well into those new highs and really get this market pushing. So that would not be a bad thing to see a deeper pullback and fuel to go higher. So you just have to be open to that today. Dow Jones, obviously we are a long ways from the high of the day on the Dow Jones. Or the high of the market, all-time highs on the Dow Jones. We are finally well above the daily moving average, this big 200. We've broken that thing in a big way. Very, very, very nice break and retest long if we get it today on the Dow Jones. If you get a pullback to the high of day from yesterday, that is an absolute fantastic long. And there's a lot of free air here, going up into these upper next levels, and where we're at on every market right now, all of the next levels are really coming off of I'm getting them off the 4-hour chart from months ago. And so it is a little bit, when you're looking at levels from historically from a few months ago, you have to really be eyes wide open. You have to really be eyes wide open for little changes. As intraday changes, you may get a break and a hold. You could see, for example, I just make something up. You could see a break above the 62.25 on the ES, and you could see a pullback and a consolidation maybe somewhere around the 62.30s. And then you see another move higher. That means that's where this level now goes. You're going to have to make intraday adjustments to what you're seeing as you get into these areas, because we are looking, even though some of these other markets are not at the all-time highs, the levels come from months ago, and so you really have to be careful with that. Or in my opinion, that's something to really be careful of. So we covered the Dow Jones, definitely very bullish, very, very bullish on the Dow Jones. Again, getting a pullback into some of these areas to refuel wouldn't be a bad thing. Almost should put a level here. Matter of fact, I think I will. That's enough of a resistance area. I do want that on my charts, and now that thing's going to freeze up. I hate when it does that. We're going to put a level right here at those 2 wicks, just so we have a reference. That was that daily 200 ceiling that we had a tough time breaking, and if we get a pullback to that could set up a nice long. And on the Russell, 15-minute, same thing on the Russell. We're a long ways from the high, the market high, way up here at the 25.38s. But the next, we've got some free air. There's a level coming in right here around the 2200s, and then you have a big area all the way up here to the 2262s. That's pretty free. So if you get a good pullback, you have a great opportunity to see a move to the upside. We do have the daily 200 moving average sitting above price here on the Russell. That is something to be careful of. But again, it definitely looks good. Interestingly enough, I haven't traded the Russell that long, but I've noticed a little pattern. The Russell likes to do this, where you put in like this ceiling over a multi-day area, and then I've just seen that. I've seen these levels before. Here you have, look at this kind of a big squarish block, very heavy block here. You've got the same thing, right here. You have a little area that it just holds. It holds strong. You've got a strong hold there flipped. I've seen that before. So that's why I added this level this morning, because I could definitely see this thing pulling back to here. That really would be an absolute excellent long. So those are just things to be careful of and to be on the lookout for. Again, I'm not trading it today, but I do want to have this trade plan on my charts and then or done, and then I will review this probably tomorrow or tonight. I'm going to review what the market did and see, was my plan correct today. So that's why I'm doing this. And again, it's just, I mean, I have a bit of FOMO. I kind of wish I was trading today, but I'm not. And I'm going to have fun going fishing, trust me. But anyway. So yeah, that's the game plan for today. That's what I would be doing if I was trading today, watching the Nas. Let's see if this thing truly does break out to new highs. So maybe we break history today, and we talk about it on Monday, but I want to wish you a good day. I wish you a green day. I hope you have a good trading day today. Be careful. Strike when the opportunity is there and take some green. So have a great weekend. Till next time, take care and so long.